bottle.
Come in. Got it. It's right here. Here. Okay, have a seat. You gotta.
Madonna, I mean, I love our son, but I don't know if I could do it another one. I think you need to get on birth control.
Okay, but you know, I don't want to wait in the doctor's office for another 4 hours. We tried this before.
I know, but I heard that now pharmacists can dispense the birth control without a doctor. I think we should give that a try.
Okay, we can try that.
Mr. and Mrs. Carter, how are you doing today?
Hi.
What a lovely couple. How can I help you?
Oh yeah, we're here called about the birth control.
Oh, but please have a seat, have a seat. Really quick, just to get us going, there's a survey that's mandatory that all patients that pharmacists work with in regards to birth control have to fill out.
Sure.
Would you mind filling it out real quick?
Sure.
Baby's looking good.
It's a handful.
Handful. Getting any sleep?
Yeah, losing out lots of sleep.
Oh man. Don't need another one around, do ya? No.
Not yet, not yet.
All right, that makes sense. I'm glad you're here.
Okay. done.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank
Mrs. Carter.
you.
This is go through a couple of these. So you, oh good, how adorable. So you gave birth within the past 6 weeks. That is
Mhm.
correct. Okay, great. And so it says in here you have some struggle with migraines. Can you describe sort of what you're feeling, how often it occurs?
It's not every so often, like 2 or 3 times a month, and I take some Advil and I'm good.
So it's not that big of an episode.
No, it's just a headache, you know.
Okay, so it's just a light headache. Okay,
Yeah.
that's good to know.
Mhm.
And it says in here you've had breast cancer. Have you had breast cancer?
I didn't, but my mom had it, so I think it's family history. I'm high risk.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for sharing that with me. It's good to have all the information available. And it says on here you're just taking multivitamin. Is
Yes.
that right?
Yeah.
Okay. And if given your preference, you prefer an oral form of birth control? Health
Yeah.
options. Okay.
Pills is good.
Great. Let me check it out, and I'll have a suggestion for you in a moment.
Okay, thank you.
So key points. She doesn't have any concerns with hypertension or diabetes. She has given birth within the past 6 weeks, so issues with breastfeeding and specifically estrogen-related products will come into play. We discussed her migraines. They were just more like light headaches. I don't think that criteria meets the concerns for birth control. I think we're okay there. And lastly, breast cancer. She personally hasn't had breast cancer. She has a family history. Those are 2 distinctions, so that shouldn't limit us too much. And lastly, her medication, she's only taken a multivitamin. There's not any interactions with birth control and multivitamins, so our options are relatively open. And this patient in particular prefers an oral birth control, so that would lead us to progestin option. Real quick, Ms. Carter, on review, you are breastfeeding, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. I have the perfect suggestion for you. You said you want an oral medication.
Yes.
So I'm going to recommend norethindrone, 0.35 milligrams. I know that's pharmacy talk, but the brand name is called Micronor. And what it is progestin only pill. Because what happens is a lot of birth control has estrogen in it, and that's not ideal when you're breastfeeding a little one. So we're going to go with progestin only pill. Do you mind if I take a couple minutes to just consult you through the main points of this medication?
Sure.
Just to make sure you understand we're on the same page. Great. And feel free to stop me if you have any questions at any time. First and foremost, when you start taking the pill, you need to make sure you rely on other means of contraception for the first 48 hours of taking it. After 48 hours, you should be good to go. Does that make sense? Okay. And then following that, the dosing is very, very important with birth control. So you need to have a designated time where you take it each day. You're going to take it once a day by mouth. You can take it with food, with water, that doesn't necessarily matter. You can take it at the same time every day. There's very specific guidelines for if you miss a dose or if you're not timely. And I'll highlight them in your medication guide so you can look back on them just in case. But I want to walk you through them real quickly. So if you don't take the dose within the designated time within 3 hours, so let's say you're going to take it at 12 every day and it's 4 o'clock, you just take it when you can and then rely on another means of contraception for 48 hours. Is that clear?
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, same like when you originally started
Mhm.
medication. Perfect. And then if you miss multiple doses, what you're going to do is you're going to do the double dose. Excuse me, let me start from the beginning. So if you miss the dose completely, you take 2 pills the next day, and then you wait 48 hours again. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is everyone clear?
Just double dose.
The double dose. So if you completely miss it and it's already almost time for the next dose, just take 2 pills on that day. Okay, and then you wait 48 hours. Okay, and then lastly, actually there's a couple different things. This medication does not prevent STDs. This is only for means of birth control. We're told to share that with every patient. And it's also really important that you always you go to your gynecologist or your primary care physician just to make sure you're healthy and you're safe and that birth control is still a viable option. And specific to this medication, there are some side effects that you may want to look out for. Breakthrough bleeding or spotting can be common as you initiate the medication. Your body's adjusting as you're taking this new hormone, so it's just some unpleasant effects can happen in the beginning, but it gets better with time. One of those things is breakthrough bleeding, and eventually over time you could even stop having menstrual cycles altogether, and you can stop having your period. And some common feelings you may have, you may feel some dizziness, some nausea, some upset stomach, just in the first couple of months as you start taking it. And rarely you'll feel some breast pain, but that should subside. But if it does not, you need to go see your physician. Do you have any concerns about some of the side effects I've shared with you? Is that all clear?
And you said it's fine if I take it with food or without food?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Just the timing of it's what's most important.
Just it has to be in the same time every day.
Yes.
Okay.
So review real quick, we've talked about sort of what to do with the missed dose. Do you understand that? Is that clear to you?
Yes.
Great. And you remember that this is not a means to prevent STDs. And lastly, the adherence to the medication and the timing of it's so important. If you adhere to it and you take it exactly when you're supposed to, it's 99.9% effective. But if you don't, it goes down to 90. That studies have shown if you're inconsistent with taking the pill. So it's really important that you do that.
Okay.
Just wanted to impress that upon you. Mr. Carter, do you have any questions? Or?
Yeah, sounds all good.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming in. Please call me if you have any questions.
Thank you.
Thank you.